The man behind AlphaGo thinks AI is taking the wrong path, was the headline from Wired. Incredible. I'm going to read a little bit of the profile now because it is just so good. So thanks to, I actually don't know who wrote this. I probably should know. Will Knight. Yeah, he usually writes most of them. Anyway, David Silver gave the world its very first glimpse of super intelligence. In 2016, an AI program he developed at Google DeepMind, AlphaGo, taught itself to play the famously difficult game of Go with a kind of mastery that went far beyond mimicry. Silver has since founded his own company, Ineffable Intelligence, that aims to build more general forms of AI superintelligence. The company will do this, Silver says, by focusing on reinforcement learning, which involves AI models learning new capabilities through trial and error. The vision is to create super learners that go beyond human intelligence in any domains. This approach stands in contrast to how most AI companies plan to build superintelligence by exploiting the coding and research capabilities of LLMs. Silver, speaking to Wired from his office in London, big up London, says he thinks this approach will fail. As amazing as LLMs are, they learn from human intelligence rather than building their own. He says human data is like a kind of fossil fuel that has provided an amazing shortcut, Silver says. You can think of systems that learn from themselves as renewable fuel, something that can just learn and learn and learn forever without limit. He thinks of our mission as making first contact with superintelligence. That's such a cool sentence. He says, by superintelligence, I mean something incredible. It should discover forms of science and technology or government or economics for itself.
Silver met Demis Hassabis, the CEO of Google DeepMind, at a chess tournament when they were kids. And the pair later became lifelong friends and collaborators. They remained close after Silver left Google DeepMind, which he did only because he wanted to chart a completely new path. I feel it's really important that there is an elite AI lab that actually focuses 100% on this approach. He says that it's not just a corner of another place dedicated to LLM. He, however, has already pledged 100% of anything he makes from this to the Founders Pledge, something that I think Anton is also a part of. It's an unprecedented amount. No one has ever pledged 100% of anything they make for this. So he's literally, from the get-go, put a stamp down and saying, like, I don't care at all about money. This just needs to be done. Mm-hmm. The article goes on to say, like, the limits of the LLM-based approach can be seen, Silver says, with a simple thought experiment. Imagine going back in time and releasing a large language model in a world that believed the world was flat. Without being able to interact with the real world, the system, he says, would remain an avid flat earther, even if it continued to improve its own code. An AI system that can learn about the world for itself, however, could make its own scientific discoveries. Mm-hmm. Silver compares the current state of AI to understandings of biology before Darwin. There were all of these people trying to understand what life was, but no one had a unified view that really explained what life was until Darwin came along.
What he says when it's like, we've taken an incredible shortcut, which is probably something that, humans are efficient creatures and they find the most efficient ways of doing things, right? It was a shortcut to get to the place that we're at now with AI and moving super quickly, where it's like, we'll just train the AI, do pre-training, on everything that's on the internet, every book, everything that humans have created, all knowledge, in the world that's been created since the inception of humanity. And therefore it will then become super intelligent or not super intelligent, it will just become very intelligent in everything that we've kind of created. But what he's doing is kind of taking a first principles, approach where it's like, well, if we're going to go and do that second principle, right? Like that's like, we're teaching the AI model on everything that humans have already done first principle. This is now like, we're going to rewrite the playbook of what is first principle? What does that even look like? So now it's like, if you're going to teach it from first principle, whatever that looks like, it will then be able to come up with, technologies, physics, whatever that humans hadn't even thought of. So it's a very obviously very ambitious target, but super interesting. And I think so. Alfred Lin came out with an X article about this, and I thought it was super interesting. And one particular point was almost like going against the grain in terms of going against the bubble, right? Sequoia say there's only a very, very small number, less than a handful of people who have done truly foundational work, Huang says. Dave is one of them. And I think that basically speaks right to itself, where he's like, I'm not taking the shortcut now. I am truly going for something that is, foundational. What does it mean to build a mind that is not a copy of our own? Today, we're excited to announce that Sequoia is partnering with David Silver and Ineffable Labs, a new AI research lab based in London with a singular mission to make first contact with super intelligence. That should be their slogan, man. Make first contact with super intelligence. I think that's put that on a t-shirt, I'd wear that every day.
I like this like sci-fi style of approaching.
The current generation of AI was built by training on the entirety of the human internet. It's an extraordinary achievement, but a system trained on human data may also have fundamental limitations. Ineffable intelligence is scaling reinforcement learning from a clean base. No pre-training, no human data to shortcut the system. Guided by the era of experience as a North Star, David is proving that agents trained purely from an environment can develop non-human strategies for reasoning about problems we don't yet know how to solve.
At DeepMind, David drove the key breakthrough that finally solved the game of Go, self-play. Self-play drove the 800 ELO point leap that led to the historic AlphaGo vs. Lee Sedol showdown in March 2016. This was one of the most watched events live at the time, of all time.
David Silver says human data has been AI's fossil fuel. We mine it and burn it in our LLMs, he says. The sustainable fuel is experience, systems learning from the consequences of their own action. OpenAI and Anthropic, two of the world's leading AI labs, have announced plans for new offices in the area, and they'll rub shoulders with the likes of autonomous car company Wave. We walk past Wave when we come to the studio. The AI video firm Synthesia, Scale AI, and of course DeepMind, an early tenant now owned by Google. Jeff Bezos' AI venture Prometheus is in talks to take nearly 40,000 square feet in King's Cross office space.
Congratulations to Ineffable Intelligence on your 1.1 bill seed at 5.1 bill.
Indeed.
China has blocked Meta's $2 billion purchase of AI group Manus. This is from Aryan Alim in Hong Kong, Tim Bradshaw in London, and Dmitry Sevastopoulou in Washington.
Huge. Good stuff, man.
China has ordered Meta to unwind its $2 billion acquisition of artificial intelligence app Manus as Washington and Beijing vie for dominance over the emerging technology. The decision marks an extraordinary late-stage intervention by Beijing involving two non-Chinese companies. Meta had already begun to integrate software from Manus, which was founded in China but relocated to Singapore last year. It was unclear how the acquisition could be unwound at such a late stage. It still is broadly unclear. A person briefed on Beijing's decision said the announcement could be intended primarily as a warning for similar deals in the future. This is a stamp, in my opinion, on the sovereignty narrative and how AI is like spurring it and fueling it. Like for the first time in a while, now we're seeing every single nation either fully clamp down or start to seriously think about this sovereignty ideology.
Yeah, but look, what I don't get is, and we've only got 10 minutes actually, but what I don't get is when Nvidia happily selling to China, and China are happily taking US chips, right? Happily taking US compute. They're doing that, right? They're doing those deals. But if they wanted to get out of like the US ecosystem, and this is a clear, like this was basically the reason why they cancelled this Manus deal, was because of the US ties and the fact that the two founders moved out of China purely on the basis to have a Singapore and US acquisition. And so they're doing that, and they're blocking that for those reasons, to like, get out of the kind of US ecosystem and make a stance for that. But they're still taking chips from Nvidia happily. Yeah. Obviously, Jensen Huang, with his now famous quote, says, "I did not wake up and choose to be a loser." Where it's like, why would I like forego our second biggest market? Because I'm scared that they'll overtake my first market. I feel like I'm doing a disservice if to like the US citizen, if I stop selling to China. But also, so the flip side is China is still happily taking those US chips.
Yeah, well, his argument is like people gravely underestimate like how far ahead they are. It's like there's not,
but also
they can do all this dangerous stuff already.
Well, it's the ecosystem stuff, right? Where it's like, but then obviously Dwarkesh's argument was like, well, you know, in terms of nuclear power and all of that kind of stuff, like we're not giving anyone uranium. So like, why would we? Why?
He was saying to Jensen, the uranium quote was, he was saying to Jensen, you are giving them uranium using the AI.
Yeah. And he was like, that's just like so wrong.
Yeah, it's like as powerful as a nuclear.
Yeah, because he was like, it's fine, I'm giving them chips, but like they're using our developer ecosystem. They're using everything else that we've built around the physical chips, right? It's not just the chips.
His whole thing is like, we need to be speaking with them more, opening dialogue, having these conversations, which is completely true. Like
exactly,
use like
we're not a car.
The example is such a good. That was a good impression, actually. That was really good. Nice. If you use like the comparison, which a lot of people do, is like the Oppenheimer stuff with the nuclear bomb. Like something that they had to do at the time was they wanted to open up dialogue between every single person working on it. Because if you don't have the dialogue, you don't have the communication, then you start to act irrationally because you're making assumptions. If I don't do this, then they won't do that. Like then like game theory starts to come into play. So like Jensen's whole argument for opening up lines of communication and dialogue, I think, is a great thing. Here, this is definitely too harsh. Like Manus, I've used it before. It's not, you know, world-ending technology. It's just an agent that doesn't really work, to be quite frank. Like it's not. It's not like a frontier agentic tool.
So now this opens up, like, whether they have...
It's more of a statement, right?
Yeah. Like, it is a statement. It is like, hey, like, we want to be separate from the US. Like, we're not going to open the opportunity for our entrepreneurs to go and do exactly what the Manus guys did. It's already happened with TikTok. We don't want it to happen. And then it happened with Manus, and it's like, it's kind of opening these floodgates of like, oh, entrepreneurs now think that they can go and do this. Mm-hmm. No, we're going to shut this down, and we're going to kind of like put a stand and stamp on the fact that, you know, you cannot go and do that, because it's almost like brain draining China. But then again, you've also now got Chinese entrepreneurs thinking, hold on, if I start my company in China, I have no opportunity to exit to the big players, and most of the big players are in the US.
There's no.
And so you're going to see potentially, I would say, like an exodus from China of like these kind of frontier entrepreneurs. Exactly. So I don't understand, right? So I did a bit of digging, like how can you actually block a sale like this? Because Manus was already being used in Meta products. Obviously it was fully like Meta branded, all of that kind of stuff, right? But it was integrated. Sales had been done. I assume employees had been given options / had been kind of remunerated for it.
They will have had their payout would have been so fat.
Yeah. It was fat. It was what, $2 billion, right?
The team was around like 150 maybe, I think, to 150 to 200 people.
So how can they block the sale, right? Two reasons that I thought were probably the most why can China do it? So Beijing branded the acquisition as a conspirational attempt to drain China's domestic technology base. Because the core algorithms and the company itself were birthed in China, regulators argue the DNA of the company remains subject to Chinese oversight. So that was like one of the arguments. Second argument was, and we reported this like 2 or 3 weeks ago, the founders were blocked physically. So to enforce its review, China obviously utilized the exit bans in March 2026 to prevent 2 of Manus's co-founders from leaving the country. This physical leverage over key personnel allowed authorities to maintain pressure on companies during the investigation. And now, it's going to do basically the NDRC has now demanded like a full unwinding of everything that they've done, including returning of all funds, re-registering ownership, halting Meta's use of Manus's algorithms.
They just got it.
Basically a big mess. It's kind of mental that's happened. Well, obviously it's massive news.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen a flip of a private company deal like that before. Anyway, Framer, build better sites faster. Go to framer.com/ETN.
Forbes have released a re-ranking of the world's billionaires by wealth and also altruism. So we're going to be going over the top 5. We'll break it down from 5th to 1st, but as an introduction to the article, let me maybe just start as to how they've done this. And what it kind of looks like. So like this is from Forbes, piece by Matt Durrott and Chase Peterson Withorn. It starts with Elon Musk is the planet's richest person by far. Everyone kind of already knew that. Worth $839 billion as of Forbes annual world's billionaire list. He also ranks among the least philanthropic billionaires. Sure, Musk is sorry, but I'm not even sure. I've not read the next line, but let's also take into account the amount of tax this man pays. I think he pays the most tax out of any human being ever.
Easily.
Not to like jump in independent straight away, but sure, Musk has transferred $8.5 billion of Tesla stock to his charitable foundations, 1% of his net worth, but nearly all of it is still sitting there idle, only an estimated $500 million, or 0.06% of Musk's vast fortune. Wow, they're really going after Musk. Okay, let's go through the list then. We'll start on number 5. Yeah, to be fair, maybe it's funny if I share my screen and we can
share your screen. Go for it. Number 5, Sergey Brin. His adjusted net worth is $278 billion, which has gone up $41 billion. Is that within the year, I assume? Brin has moved an estimated 131 million shares of Google parent company Alphabet into charitable vehicles, including his Sergey Brin Foundation. Some $5 billion has already gone out the door, including more than $2 billion to support research into Parkinson's disease, which his late mother had. He also gave $345 million to climate change non-profits, last year, and is taking on autism in his latest effort to direct most of his giving to conditions affecting the central nervous system.
Nice.
What a beast.
That was number
Mr. Brin.
5, Sergey Brin, coming in with the 5th spot. Now, number 4, Larry Page. Adjusted net worth, $284 billion. That's a plus $27 billion increase. His giving focuses on climate change and health. The Google co-founder has stuffed stock into his Carl Victor Page Memorial Foundation. That would be worth more than $23 billion today if he still held it.
No way, that's mad.
Oh man. The organization, which is named for his father, is sitting on more than $7 billion in assets after doing out nearly $2 billion, almost entirely through opaque donor-advised funds that don't have a minimum distribution requirement or report how much they have actually given to those in need, keeping Page off of Forbes' list of America's largest philanthropists. So number 4, Larry Page.
There you go. Number 3, Mr. Warren Buffett, the godfather of the stock market. His adjusted net worth is $363 billion, which is up $214 billion, which is bonkers. In 2006, the legendary investor announced he would give away nearly all of his fortune. In the 2 decades since, he has donated more than 278,000 Class A shares of his conglomerate Berkshire Hathaway, worth some $200 billion if he still held them. The stock has mainly gone to the Gates Foundation, 3 charities run by Buffett's 3 children, and a foundation named for his late wife. His will stipulates that virtually all of what's left when he dies must be given away within 10 years.
Oh yeah, wasn't he?
So he'll shoot to the top of the list ASAP.
Wasn't he famous for he's not leaving his kids anything? I swear. Or was it someone else?
No, I think you're semi right. Yeah, I think it was also. I want to say Bill Gates was the same.
Yeah, I can't remember. Maybe it was Gates. I don't know. I can't remember.
Anyway, well, number 2, Mr. Bill Gates.
Number 2 is Bill. It's our good friend Bill. Look at that polite little smile there on this thing. He just looks like such a happy dude. $464 billion plus $356 billion. Health, poverty, alleviation is his giving focus. Gates and his billionaire ex-wife Melinda French Gates have poured $60 billion into the Gates Foundation since its founding in 2000, including Microsoft stock that would be worth an estimated $287 billion today. Damn, that is a lot of cash. Counting those shares and other cash gifts he has made adds more wealth to his fortune than any other billionaire besides Musk has amassed. Even in true net worth terms, Gates donated 12.5 billion to women's empowerment groups set up by French Gates after she resigned from their Gates Foundation in 2024. In May, he announced that the Gates Foundation will spend 200 billion and shut down by 2045. Bill and Melinda famously teamed up with Warren Buffett in 2010 to found the Giving Pledge, encouraging signers to publicly commit to donating the bulk of their fortunes to charity.
There you go. I feel like we have to kind of give a quick, like, you know, Elon Musk is still in the game. You know, he's in the AI race. He's about to IPO his company. He's merging his companies into a, you know, big Musk megacorp, as they're saying. The guy's still in the game, and he's still at the top of the list, which is, you know, of the giving list.
But he is almost double second.
True.
Which is nuts, right? He's not even like potentially in the game, still in the game. He's owning the game. He's the
guy who owns the game.
He's created the game and he owns the game, and I think maybe like, wait, what?
He's almost 2 and 3 combined, I think. Yeah. Anyway, let's read it. Elon Musk adjusted net worth $858 billion, which is 19 billion from current net worth, up 19 billion. Musk made nearly all of his $8.5 billion of Tesla stock donations to his Musk Foundation during the 13 months through December 2024. Those tax-deductible gifts likely helped reduce the amount he owed to the IRS after selling $39 billion of Tesla stock around that time, mostly to finance his $44 billion Twitter acquisition. Big up X. The Musk Foundation is still sitting on much of that money, failing in several years to pay out even 5% of its assets annually as required by federal law. The foundation has transferred at least $600 million to another foundation Musk set up in 2022 called the X Foundation. Aptly named, with a stated mission to fund a new STEM-focused independent primary and secondary school and ultimately a university near SpaceX's manufacturing facility in Bastrop, Texas. I think all of these like larger all of the players who are like looking like forward looking, right? Even, you know, we're talking Louis Mosley when who's at Palantir. They obviously have the Palantir degree. You know, the ones that are really like moving the needle in the frontier on like humanity stuff are building education, organizations, which I think is super interesting. And there's a whole kind of industry of building your own school, which I think is interesting as well. Where it's like the school system isn't needed, and it is a school for young people to learn, you know, more, you know, it's not backdated. It's not a school system that's backdated.
Yeah.
Sebastian Salway broke the impossible sub-2 hour barrier at the London Marathon. I was live with Martine BBC on BBC News and BBC World talking about the something record when Salway flew past, which is absolutely bonkers.
We have a new women's only world record here on the streets of London. More than £1 billion raised since 1981. There is some noise going on around me, Martine. We've got the male figures now going past me.
Absolutely blasting past him. Mad.
In my eyes a bit. I believe that's Sebastian Salway. I'm just looking at my TV screen.
And when he realises.
Salway, it is. The Kenyan is going to be coming down the mile now. The clock is currently 1:59:10. Martine, this is quick. This is quick. This could be on here for a world record men's time. Are we going sub-2? Martine, we might be going sub-2. We might be going sub-2 here on the streets of London. It's never happened in an official race. He's done it. 1:59:30.
He should report on all the live sporting events. That's quite cool.
He should. He should
be the guy.
I think he will. I think he'll get more jobs off the back of that.
Yeah, surely if that's gone viral. It's like because 265.
And then just quickly the Adidas ad as well. This was posted by Sam Bowman, friend of the stream. He was like, "This is such a cool ad to put on less than 24 hours after the race." This is obviously Sebastian Salway, who just broke the 2 hour record. But that was the morning after that happened, which is that was the Monday morning.
Because he ran it in those unreleased shoes
and then
from Adidas.
And then they released the shoes in like a few weeks or a week or something.
Yeah.
So like it's a huge campaign, and the fact that they've already got this out as a campaign.
Those shoes will be. I saw loads of funny tweets. It's like can't wait to buy these and then go and smash like a 27-minute 5K in my local park.
I love it.
Which is brilliant.
And then he was also, that ad was also on Piccadilly Circus as well. It was literally the whole board on Piccadilly Circus. So yeah, props to Adidas for jumping on that so quickly. I imagine like it was already in place, but and they knew something was going to happen. But
I saw something,
the fact that he broke 2 hours is even better.
He'd asked for multiple drug tests in the like 7 weeks running up to that, like an above normal amount to.
Oh really? To like, just make sure he cleared.
So he was like, I know there's going to be scrutiny here. I know I'm going to go do something mad, and I need to like completely clear. I'm prepared to like clear myself if something comes up.
Mate,
that's how like
big up Sebastian.
He was.
Anyway, so that happened in London. I was there. I was on the finish line basically. So thoroughly enjoyed and glad that it happened in London. Anyway, Base, the infrastructure for the on-chain world. Go to base.org. That was Tuesday, the 28th of April. We will see you on Thursday. Goodbye.